So 7 got changed a ton in this update. I'm not going to go through all the changes because it's a lot of numbers, but I'll put some of the stuff on screen. Mainly his weapon, specifically the burst mode, got tweaked. They also point out specifically that they know that auto mode is in a bit of a weird spot, so he will be getting more changes in the future. The hook is different. He also has immunity on the dodge now for a quarter second. A little bit weird considering they removed like the damage reduction and stuff from Vatu's dash in this same update, but the main focus for the video, aside from the changes I put on screen that I didn't really want to go through all of them, like the weapon and the hook, is the new version of the ultimate taunt, which we've had a few of at this point, but it's now 1000 after 0.8 and a little 20 unit radius, so it's an explosion. And the thing that I think I got wrong when I read through it before is the execute is actually after the damage. I for some reason thought it just executed them if they were below the threshold, like the damage would kill them anyway, or like a little bit over that, like a percentage or something, but no, it's if you hit them with your 1000 and they've got less than 25% after the ultimate, they die. Don't know how that works, but that's what it says here. We'll try it. The builds for the most part are going to be the same. You wouldn't really go in and tweak these. Siege, Splitstone should work out for 7. We've got Dredge, Andro, Koga, and Ceres. So full flank Dredge, Ceres versus Sati, Fira, Caspian, Cassie, and Yag. Be interesting to see. It should be fine here for the ultimate. Not really sure how much I'm going to feel the range on this map. It might be kind of annoying. I probably default most of the time to Tribunal, just unless I really love this, but we'll go for the standard setup. And then the ult thing, of course, we go for a morale boost to really try and spam it. Sure, that might be a bad idea. We'll see. Scuttle, a Defiant Fist, Dragon Fangs, whatever Ceres grabs, Corrosive, Measured, Impulse, Solar, and Window. I don't really know what we're doing in this one. That was a really, really strange start. Let's see if we can get rid of the Fury. The damage doesn't really seem noticeably different at that range, at least. My accuracy is going to be really, really rough. I'm still not fully warmed up to like having to aim and stuff for Paladins for whatever reason. I haven't really played that much in like the past couple of weeks. Shots there on the Yag. Big damage there, actually. It doesn't feel too much different. Definitely have noticed the servers being scuffed out. Despite the fact that I haven't played like 100 games or anything, the servers definitely feel noticeably kind of jank. Got rid of the Caspian. That's what I was trying to say. Died to the Sati. I was trying to get a heal from the Ceres. I guess we need armor plating because we're just going to, get blasted. The Sati is definitely doing the most on their side at the moment. Feel like I'm better off playing the auto. There goes the Cassie. Like this damage just feels a little bit better than doing the burst stuff. My pull definitely feels shorter. Kind of hard to say how much I'd have noticed it if I didn't actually read it in the patch notes, but Yag is switching, moving around a lot faster. I feel like let's chase her down, see if we can get rid of her. Gonna be real, I'm playing kind of terribly. Maybe because my accuracy is just kind of ass. My range feels terrible. I get that they're trying to make him more of a flanker and like remove the way he was played like a damage for absolutely ages, especially like the burst mode and stuff, but right now it feels like my range and the burst mode as well is just like kind of horrendous. I don't know why you'd realistically use the burst mode most of the time. My hook just didn't work. Auto mode doesn't feel great. The burst mode feels sort of fine, but it's got like a weird aim shake, and it's always had that where sometimes when you fire it moves your aim a little bit and other times it doesn't. It's not like when you hold it down or anything, it just seems kind of inconsistent. That pull, I didn't do anything. What am I doing? 0-2, I feel like they're winning it right now just because of the tank diff. We've got a decent team, it's just that we're not really able to actually go after them and clear them. I'm not doing a particularly good job with that, but I'm not trying to turn this into a video where I just complain about 7 a lot, but I did really used to like him a ton, and he's fallen off substantially. I talked about that in the tier list video, but yeah, he's in a bit of a weird spot as a flanker. Don't do a bad job with him like in most matches. It's just that very rarely do I feel like I'm absolutely shredding with 7. I can't really go in now because of that. The weapon is obviously the main part of like any character, and with 7 right now it feels pretty damn rough. Obviously my accuracy is not helping, but I feel like even if I was landing a lot of my shots, it just doesn't feel like a weapon I would want to like play a character with for ages. Like I just can't consistently get it to sort of work the way I want. We did clear the Sati, but yeah, I just can't consistently get it to work the way that I sort of want it to. It feels like it's moving around way more than it should, just by like tiny amounts, and it really is sort of off-putting. And the fact that you have to switch sometimes and it doesn't remember like the setting you were in, small little stuff like that. We're going to pull up and go for the ultimate, maybe get rid of the Caspian. It does do a tiny bit of damage as you're like winding up, which is kind of funny. This Sati's been making a bit of a mess. I just did that for a little bit of damage. It doesn't pull them, even though I do kind of wish that it did. It would give them a lot of sort of extra identity and stuff rolled into the beam. But yeah, you do pull into tanks. It just is a little bit strange. She's just kind of spamming away. Where's she going? She's going this way. Shots on her. We should be able to just melt her here, right? Yeah, there we go. She's gone. I'm just kind of invised here. Andro reversal. Cassie's gone. This is so scuffed. I'm getting a little bit more warmed up now. I'm not playing as bad. I need to take advantage of my movement way more. Sati's jukes are also a pain in the ass, by the way, in case I didn't say that already. The way she just wiggles left and right makes it really hard to hit sometimes when she's doing it well. I'm somehow not dead, but man, the movement on the F sometimes feels really, really bad. What I was trying to say before I got kind of cut off by myself is that the weapon doesn't feel particularly great to play, and the main thing is the movement feels kind of jank with the F. On top of that, the talent I grabbed makes my ultimate feel not necessarily stronger, just kind of different and sometimes worse, which is obviously not what you want from a talent 90% of the time. She's going for the ultimate. Let's see if we can get rid of her here. There we go. Use the F for just a tiny bit of damage. Probably shouldn't have done it because now I'm dead, but she's gone. And I guess we saved the play a little bit. We also capped it. It's a 1-2. This video and this whole game so far, a little bit cooked. Sati's really the main one giving me trouble here, but there goes the Yagorath. Can we finish her off? Yep, I actually sort of predicted a really jank-ass movement. We're going to pull up. Ceres heal, dash over. He does still have the movement with like the hook and stuff. The range on it is definitely a little bit lower, but even though you're a flanker, up close you do melt. that range difference is definitely noticeable compared to before on a map like this. What am I doing? Like, the collision on just the F sometimes feels so weird. The weapon not being consistent really is just horrendous. I don't know how much of that I can put down to the server stuff, because the servers are jank, so I feel like I should blame it on that, but at the same time it just doesn't really feel right. We're going to go for the ultimate here on the Yag, maybe? No, I'm just going to get stunned and probably die. I don't know why I'm even trying to hold the point. Just jump around a little bit. I like a lot of his kit. I feel like, especially with the movement, which is my favourite part about him. He's a character that I like a lot, but the weapon is such a key part of that, and it feels kind of janky. It always has felt a little bit weird, but at the moment now, it feels like it's in a weird spot. And this talent specifically with the ultimate, I just don't really know why you'd go for it. The ping there is showing as 220. I feel like a lot of what I've reacted about in this video can be blamed on the servers being scuffed, but some characters deal with it way better than I feel like 7 does. And I'm not sure how much of it I can really put down to each different spot. We'll queue over. I want to go for like an ult play here. If you land all the damage, it feels pretty good. I'm going to go for the ultimate here, just kind of behind. Caspian is still just there. Maybe Beam of Furia? Yeah, sure, kind of worked. The hook just kind of ghosted shots on the Yag, sure. Like, the auto damage feels fine. The burst mode and the auto really don't feel that much different at the moment. He does still have the movement, even though it is obviously still also a little bit nerfed. Just, like, why does the hook ever do that? Like, that just feels really bad. Trying to play around 7 really is just jank. That honestly is the word. Big damage hit on the Yagorath. She is gone. Get rid of the Sati here too. Like, I feel like I'm fighting the jiggle of the, like, aim. You feel it way more with the server stuff. Just your weapon not really firing exactly where you're aiming. And on a flanker, especially like a character like 7, it's super important to be able to use your weapon the way you want to. I've definitely complained enough. I'm going to stop doing that. Let's just fire into the Yagorath and save our Ceres. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. I guess we've just got enough damage. See if we can finish her off. Like, beam back, go here for the ultimate, hit the Furia. Feels a little bit snappy if you go for the normal ultimate. I don't know how she was able to see me there. Maybe she saw me go into the invis. I don't know. Rubber banding there on the movement, as you can sort of see in real time. Cassie ult will just dash through, sort of finish her off. She's gone. We traded somehow. That's going to be the 1-4, but yeah, a lot of jank all in one video, sort of condensed there for 7. 15, 13 at 75k, we did fine. We could have done way better. I could have died way less than that and had way more damage. My accuracy was a mess. Shout out to their Furia, Sati and Cassie won on that game for sure. Our Koga was on something very weird. I didn't really realise that we had one. Ceres and Dredge did alright though. Do want to show you in the target practice though what I mean and what I was talking about in the last one, because I feel like I'm going insane if I don't show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to take my mouse off of the mouse pad, right? Not doing it, not moving it at all, just firing. And you'll see how much it moves around. It does go back to the center, but trying to compensate for that is really awkward. It is obviously like that on purpose. It just feels really bad when I'm trying to play in certain matches where certain people like a Sati who's juking, or with server stuff, it makes it feel way worse. If you played 7 in jank servers, you'll get exactly what I'm talking about. It just doesn't feel like it's actually going where you're aiming a lot of the time. And with mag dump, it obviously does that, you can tell, but it's sort of easy to compensate for that, because if you just pull down, you can sort of center it the way you want to, like down left a little bit, and you're able to sort of compensate for that quicker burst. But with the auto mode is where it really feels jank. Again, I'm not putting my mouse on the mouse pad at all. You'll see it does sort of do the same thing as with the burst fire, where it's just going slowly up and to the right. Trying to get it to stay on target when you're in a jank server is just like nearly impossible. Again, if you're in the target practice, you can move around and go kind of crazy. You're not going to have any trouble staying on target whatsoever. It's just when you introduce all the variables. With Paladins, the way it is, it feels rough. I'd love to hear your thoughts on 7's weapon, because I don't really hear anybody talk about it, but specifically because I was switching between them more in this video to try and show you the burst and the auto, because they changed the burst and the auto mode is going to be different soon. I noticed it way more that they're just kind of jank, and the burst mode feels good when you're landing all the shots. Like when you're bursting something like that, feels pretty decent. The auto mode also, if you're going like consistent damage on like a tank or something. 7's fire modes have always been a little bit weird and always had issues. So many people just stay in the burst mode the entire time, or you run the speed setup and stay in the auto mode the entire time, or you stay in the mag dump the entire time. It's kind of hard to actually play a match like super efficiently switching between them at time, because the cards make you go into one direction. But the mag dump though is the weirdest of all of them at the moment, even though the burst and the auto I'd also consider to be a little bit strange, because the range on it is just horrendous. It used to be bad, obviously, because it's meant to be up close sort of burst thing, but right now you can see how close you have to be before you actually deal any sort of decent damage. That's like doing less than a normal auto shot. You have to be like even there, it's 225, that's the same. You have to be like this range with somebody. And how often on Paladins are you that range with somebody and you have the time to like switch fire modes? You're either playing fully in the mag dump, or you're going to wait around a corner or something, because most of the time you're not going to be like auto mode, jumping around, and then like switching. If you're on the auto, you have to just switch twice to the mag dump. Yeah, it's just weird. Finally though, to talk about the ultimate, I don't know why the video went in this direction, but it just kind of did, even though again I like 7 a ton. The ultimate with the talent is this. You take half a squishy health bar off for like a second, which isn't that much different than the damage you would do with the weapon if you're landing your shots, especially if they were headshots. Like, you know, the damage isn't that crazy on it. Can't really get the execute to work on the pip. Let's try on the Fernando. That shouldn't put him below. Okay, that was like an extra 400. You're often not going to get that much crazy damage with it. I see if I can actually get it to even trigger. The fact that I'm doing it here in the target practice and can't get it to work to show you the execute shows you that it's a bit of a weird one. Just to get him around half, we go for the ultimate. Yeah, it was an extra 900 there, so that might be nearly the max you can get. An extra 900 damage on the ultimate. 2k, that's not bad. You have to get him at the right sort of health range, and a lot of the time if the Ying's this low, you're not going to pop the ultimate, you're just going to kill her with your weapon anyway. And again, it's hard to recommend the ultimate talent, because the ultimate, by default, is just such a good ultimate. You've gone against a 7 who's used his ultimate well, it's a pain in the ass. Arguably, that's not really how it works because the bots are just glitched, but arguably, it's better without the taunt, even with the 2k execute, as being able to just go like this and fear somebody for enough time for you to pretty much full kill them. I really do like 7, I just don't really know what they're sort of planning for him. I sort of see something in the future, possibly for 7, where he's got his own little weird spot, but he had a niche before, they moved him out of it, and now 7's in a weird position for me. Like, the location he takes up when I want to play a flanker, 7's little slot for that is a little bit lower than before. Talked about it in the tiers video. I'm done. I'm cutting the video. A bit of a different one, but yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. I really would love to hear your thoughts specifically in this video down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching though. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys all, of course, very, very soon. And as always, stay frosty.